Meet Harry. Harry is 59, recently retired, and this morning his heart skipped a beat. Not dramatically, not painfully, just a small strange flutter in his chest that was gone before he had time to worry about it. Harry has felt this before, maybe once a week for the past 2 months. Always brief, always harmless seeming, and always ignored, which is exactly the response you would expect from Harry. What Harry does not know yet is that the reason his heart keeps doing this has almost nothing to do with his heart, and everything to do with something he does every single day without thinking about it. This is not a medical emergency. Harry is not clutching his chest and dialing anyone. He is making toast. But the flutter has happened twice this week, and twice the week before, and that pattern is worth understanding. Around 40 million adults over 50 experience occasional palpitations. Most of them do exactly what Harry does, assume it was the coffee and move on, which means most of them never find out what is actually causing it. The problem is that not all palpitations are the same. Some are completely harmless. Some are the body flagging something it wants you to pay attention to. In Harry's case, there is a very clear explanation, and it is not the one Harry expects. There are 6 things directly contributing to Harry's flutter. 5 he could address this week. The 6th is slightly different, and we will come back to it. Most palpitations over 50 are what is called an ectopic beat. The heart fires slightly early, then pauses to reset. That pause, less than a second, is what Harry feels. The heart is not stopping, it is resetting. Harry, upon learning this, looked relieved and slightly disappointed it was not more dramatic. The question is not whether ectopic beats are dangerous. In most cases, they are not. The question is why Harry is having so many of them. Trigger 1. Harry has 2 coffees every morning. He has had 2 coffees every morning since 1997. Harry has never questioned this. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine, the chemical that makes you feel sleepy. Harry knew this part. Harry has read the coffee articles. What Harry did not read is the part about adrenaline. Caffeine also stimulates the adrenal glands. In people over 50 whose hearts are already more sensitive to adrenaline, even this small release can trigger an ectopic beat. The timing makes it worse. Harry drinks his first coffee before breakfast on an empty stomach. Caffeine, empty stomach, peak adrenal window. Harry has been doing this every morning for decades. The fix is not to stop drinking coffee. Harry would not recover from that. The fix is to eat breakfast first and wait 90 minutes after waking before the first cup. Harry has described this as cruel and unusual. He is implementing it anyway. That is trigger 1. The second has nothing to do with what Harry drinks. Magnesium is the electrolyte the heart muscle uses to regulate its electrical signal. Without enough of it, the signal misfires. That misfire is an ectopic beat. Magnesium deficiency affects between 40 and 60% of adults over 50. Most of them have no idea. Harry's diet contains almost none of the foods high in magnesium. No dark leafy greens, no nuts, no legumes. The dark chocolate that counts is not the kind Harry buys. The 4 easiest sources to add are dark leafy greens, almonds, avocado, and dark chocolate above 70%. Harry has elected to begin with the dark chocolate. His doctor has chosen not to argue. His doctor also suggested magnesium glycinate before bed, the form most easily absorbed. Trigger 3. Harry does not drink enough water. Harry drinks coffee in the morning and wine in the evening. When blood volume drops from dehydration, the heart has to beat harder to maintain circulation. More effort means more ectopic beats. The recommendation is 8 glasses a day. Harry's average, generously counting the milk in his tea, is somewhere around 3. Harry bought a large water bottle. It lives on the kitchen counter. He looks at it every day and feels mild guilt. This is progress, technically. Trigger 4 came as a surprise. Harry had been assuming the flutter after Sunday lunch was indigestion. It was not indigestion. The vagus nerve runs from the brainstem through the chest into the digestive system. A large meal expands the stomach. That physical pressure activates the vagus nerve, which then signals the heart. Harry's Sunday lunch involves portions his doctor described as generous, a pace his doctor described as enthusiastic, and a subsequent lie-down his doctor described as immediately counterproductive. Harry described it as perfect. His heart described it as a trigger. Smaller portions, eating more slowly, not lying down for 30 minutes after a main meal. Trigger 5 is the one Harry resisted most. Every evening, Harry has a glass of wine with dinner, sometimes 2. Occasionally on a Friday, a third that he does not fully count. Alcohol is a direct cardiac irritant. Even 1 to 2 drinks disrupts the electrical signals in the heart muscle. The effect peaks not during drinking, but 2 to 3 hours later, during sleep. This is why Harry has woken at 2 in the morning with his heart doing something he could not explain. The wine had been quietly irritating his cardiac tissue for hours and then announced itself. Harry's doctor suggested 1 glass, finished before 9 in the evening. Harry requested a second opinion. The second opinion agreed. Harry reduced to 1 glass, which he frames as a sophisticated lifestyle choice. Trigger 6 connects all the others. Harry averages 6.5 hours of sleep, below the recommended 7 to 9. That gap is enough to elevate cortisol, and elevated cortisol makes the heart more electrically excitable, which means the caffeine, the magnesium gap, and the dehydration all hit harder. It compounds. Everything makes everything else worse. Fix these 5 things, and in most cases, the palpitations reduce significantly within 2 to 3 weeks. But we said the 6th was different. This is the part Harry's doctor mentioned at the end, in the tone doctors use when they want your full attention. Most palpitations are ectopic beats, benign and manageable, but there is a category that is different. An ectopic beat is brief, isolated, followed immediately by a normal rhythm. Atrial fibrillation does not stop. The heart beats irregularly, often fast, and the episode lasts minutes. The signals that warrant a doctor: palpitations over 2 minutes, dizziness or shortness of breath with them, or episodes every day and increasing. Harry's symptoms were none of these. His palpitations were brief, isolated, a few times a week, but his doctor ran an ECG anyway. It takes 4 minutes and removes all uncertainty. The ECG came back completely normal. Textbook lifestyle-driven ectopic beats. All 5 causes present, all 5 addressable. Harry made the changes gradually, in the order that required the least renegotiation of his daily identity. Coffee moved to 90 minutes after waking, with breakfast first. Harry spent the first week feeling something fundamental had been taken from him. By day 7, his morning flutter had reduced by more than half. Dark chocolate became a non-negotiable part of Harry's medical protocol. He also added spinach to his eggs, described by Harry as acceptable if he does not think about it. The water bottle became a habit, not without daily reminders from his wife. Harry reported feeling less tired in the afternoons. He continues to attribute this to the chocolate. The wine reduction was last, 1 glass before 9. Harry considers this a sophisticated choice. He sleeps better. By the end of week 3, the flutter had gone from 3 or 4 times a week to once. It happened on a Wednesday morning, after his second coffee, which was before breakfast. Harry put down the coffee, drank a glass of water. The flutter was gone in 10 seconds. That was the moment that changed things. Not the absence of the flutter, the understanding of it. Harry is, as of today, drinking considerably more water, eating dark chocolate daily for medical reasons. His heart has not skipped a beat in 11 days. Harry is, predictably, very smug about all of this.
Harry would appreciate a subscription. Harry has, in fairness, earned it. If what has been happening to Harry sounds familiar, there is another video here. Something else his body was quietly doing for years. Something Harry was even less pleased to discover. Harry will be back. His body has considerably more to say. Harry, as it turns out, has considerably more to learn, usually the hard way.